And that's why I want to personally extend my gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. So it is important in times like these to have a distraction. But there's probably not going to be a sequel. It ends with us, guys.
Blake Lively's carefully crafted image took a massive hit at the 2025 Critics' Choice Awards. Chelsea Handler delivered a scathing roast that left the audience in stitches, and Blake humiliated.
Chelsea Handler just roasted Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni in front of a lot of major celebrities at an award show. I don't think Blake Lively is going to like it.
I want to acknowledge that we've been through a lot lately, not just here in Los Angeles, but our entire country. Waking up every day, not knowing what news we are going to hear.
Handler sarcastically thanked Blake and Justin Baldoni for providing much-needed entertainment during difficult times. The crowd erupted in laughter, not a single gasp or awkward silence, just uncontrollable laughter.
So it is important in times like these to have a distraction. And that's why I want to personally extend my gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. I'm grateful. I think we're all grateful. And I think we're good.
For Blake, this wasn't just a joke. It was a public declaration that Hollywood was no longer on her side.
I think everybody in this room, no matter whose side you're on, we can all agree to accept that there's probably not going to be a sequel. It ends with us, guys.
Look, she does make fun of Justin and Blake, but the fact that she's making fun of it at all shows she doesn't believe Blake.
Handler didn't stop there. She followed up with another jab, joking that there would never be a sequel to It Ends With Us.
And she decided to file a complaint with the California Human Rights Division. But that was really, I believe, and it is alleged by Justin's lawyers now, just a setup so that she could give the New York Times cover to do a huge hit piece on him and attempted rehab of her.
The audience cheered and clapped, making it clear they agreed with every word. For someone trying to position herself as Hollywood royalty, this moment was devastating.
And there are a lot of bodies for Blake Lively. So he's first filed a defamation lawsuit against the New York Times for their totally irresponsible report about this matter, in which they made a mistake, so egregious mistakes, I mean, intentional errors, you could argue.
These HR complaints saying these were real and these were ignored, all painting Justin Baldoni to be a monster, okay?
The reaction from Hollywood insiders was telling. A-list stars like Emma Stone, Orlando Bloom, and Ryan Gosling were seen laughing hysterically during Handler's roast.
Why are we here, Blake? Because again, you gotta remember, Blake filed this suit, not Justin. Blake filed this suit. And if all of Hollywood is really believing her and Ryan, well, then why are they laughing? It's because this shouldn't be funny. This shouldn't be funny if we are seriously taking Blake's case so serious, which we're not. I would challenge back. This is absolutely not good for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. To see the Critics' Choice Award, which is a lot of critics and people coming in, it's press and people who review the films or at least hobnob with the studios. They're there trying to be nice to all the celebrities.
This wasn't just about comedy. It was Hollywood collectively turning its back on Blake. No one stood up for her or even tried to defend her claims.
And unless Blake's dropping something to warrant all the things that she did to him, Justin deserves justice. Justin deserves to get his Wayfarer back where it was. Justin deserves to make more movies.
Interestingly enough, all of these publications, which are known to just publish whatever, they publish things about me that are completely untrue, they don't care about defamation or anything like that, all declined to publish this.
If there was ever a moment for someone to show solidarity with Blake, this was it, but no one did. Instead, the laughter signaled that the industry no longer believed her story or sympathized with her plight.
I don't like her. She seems like a bully. She was such a high-maintenance diva bully brat.
Because this shouldn't be funny. This shouldn't be funny if we are seriously taking Blake's case so serious, which we're not. No one is, because her case has no evidence. It's complete nonsense.
Handler's roast wasn't just entertainment. It was a message from Hollywood elites. They were done with Blake's sob story.
He called me sexy and asked how much I weigh when he has a back problem. It is absurd what she's accusing him of, as we broke it down.
Blake Lively had accused Justin Baldoni of harassment and running a smear campaign against her. She likely thought this lawsuit would position her as a fearless survivor, but things didn't go as planned.
At these Hollywood award shows, was actually going to step up and make some jokes. So props to Chelsea Handler. I think she could have gone harder. I think she could have gone more on Blake and Ryan, but she's playing in the middle. But all I will say is Blake Lively's not.
Baldoni hit back with a $400 million defamation lawsuit, armed with evidence that completely dismantled Blake's claims.
This sums up Hollywood in a nutshell. Oh God, please don't show me a laugh. I don't want to get Blake and Ryan mad, but it's funny. Please don't cut to me. Please don't cut to me. Oh God, it's funny though, and I have to laugh at it because this whole thing's ridiculous.
Leaked texts and emails revealed inconsistencies in Blake's narrative. Messages showed she had invited Baldoni to her trailer multiple times during filming, contradicting her harassment claims entirely.
Orlando Bloom is laughing. It's so telling to see him laugh. Like, yep, this is ridiculous.
She's a Me Too victim there. That's absurd.
Please don't cut to me. Please don't cut to me. Oh God, it's funny though, and I have to laugh at it because this whole thing's ridiculous. And yes, it's been such a wonderful, dramatic distraction, but...
Behind-the-scenes footage further damaged her credibility, showing moments where she appeared friendly and unbothered around Baldoni.
She seems like kind of a jerk. Wow, she's like kind of a bully. She's rather mean.
Baldoni's legal team didn't just defend him, they went on the offensive. Evidence of Blake's PR team orchestrating hit pieces against Baldoni painted her as manipulative rather than victimized.
Why is she backing out here? Very carefully worded back out, because she's smart. Okay, Taylor Swift is very smart. She is media savvy.
For someone trying to control the narrative, these leaks were devastating. And they weren't the only problem Blake faced.
Who's telling the truth? Is he some creep harasser who took a shot at somebody like Blake, jeopardizing his movie and his future career? Or is she just extremely high maintenance and someone who plays the victim when she doesn't get her way?
Blake's PR team tried desperately to control the damage by flooding media outlets with stories portraying Baldoni as a villain and Blake as an innocent victim.
I want all the roles for me and only me. I want full control because I am a controlling bully.
At first, it seemed like their strategy might work, but then Baldoni's evidence came out, flipping public opinion against Blake almost overnight.
Blake Lively, you deserve all of this. This is a reckoning she needs to hear. This isn't bullying. This isn't harassment. This is accountability, girl.
It's not
spoiler
canon to
alert,
me.
because this last season kind of does suck. She turns into a psychopath.
The fallout from Handler's roast wasn't just about jokes. It highlighted how far Blake had fallen in Hollywood's eyes. Studios began reconsidering projects involving her as public skepticism grew louder.
And then says, smells good. And she says, it's my body makeup. That's her big harassment moment.
It was just a perfect act of evil that was almost executed in broad daylight.
No matter how you look at it, Blake Lively lost. She lost.
Even some of her closest allies in the industry stayed silent during this controversy, a stark contrast to their previous support for her career and causes.
She tried to take over his movie because she has a history of saying, okay, I'll be the star, but what I secretly want to do is direct it and edit it and produce it. I want all the roles for me and only me.
Taylor Swift is taking a step back from her friendship with Blake Lively after feeling like she was used.
One of the most shocking developments was Taylor Swift quietly distancing herself from Blake amid the growing controversy surrounding the lawsuit with Baldoni.
Well, today, her team, and respect to them for the speed at which her marketing team moves, dropped an entire article in the press announcing that her and Blake are taking a break. They're no longer friends because
insiders revealed that Swift's PR team worked behind the scenes to ensure Taylor's name wasn't tied to the drama, especially after Handler's roast went viral.
is she being used, or are people starting to jump into lifeboats because Ryan and Blake's Titanic, you know, the ship that not even God could sink, is sinking? It's going down. We all know the backstory here. Blake Lively essentially threatened, you could say, Justin Baldoni, calling Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds her beautiful little dragon monsters that she sometimes has to use to get what she wants done.
Swift unfollowed accounts connected to Blake and stopped posting about her altogether, a move that didn't go unnoticed by fans or the media. For someone like Taylor, known for loyalty to her friends, this was significant.
For the time being, she is taking a step back from Blake because she doesn't want to get tangled in this more than she already has, which is far more than she ever needed to be.
Her silence spoke volumes. Even Taylor wanted no part in this mess. And then came the leaked texts that made things even worse.
Blake and Ryan with the understanding that the meeting would be over. A second source said, Taylor has politely backed away from it all. She is conscious of her own image and hates that she was even mentioned. Okay.
In one of the most bizarre twists of this saga, leaked texts revealed that Blake referred to Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds as her loyal dragons. The phrase sounded more like something out of Game of Thrones than real life, and not in a good way.
And Blake Lively, who I believe thought she would be received or perceived as an Alyssa Milano or Ashley Judd Me Too victim, is instead looking a lot more like Amber Heard.
Reports claimed Taylor was horrified by the leak, feeling dragged into a situation she wanted no part of. For Blake, this comment became yet another symbol of how out of touch she had become.
She wrested his movie away from him and decided to try to hurt him with petty, made-up, out-of-context complaints when he pushed back even in the mildest way.
Even Ryan Reynolds reportedly grew frustrated with how deeply he was being pulled into Blake's drama. While he initially supported her publicly, sources claimed he began distancing himself behind closed doors as things spiraled out of control. Handler's roast wasn't just comedy, it marked an industry-wide rejection of Blake Lively's narrative. Behind-the-scenes whispers about her controlling behavior on set only added fuel to the fire as more people distanced themselves from her.
So normal people at home who don't care about this woman at all are looking at her like, I don't like her. She seems like a bully. She seems like somebody who punches down.
Projects she had been attached to quietly moved forward without her involvement, signaling that studios were losing confidence in her ability to draw audiences. What made Handler's roast even more impactful was the complete lack of support for Blake in the room that night. No one came to her defense, not even those who had once worked closely with her or called her a friend.
Is this at the expense of Justin not getting his justice? No, I think this is proving to Blake it's a joke. Your lawsuit was a joke. Why'd you do this? And why is all Hollywood still dealing with all this drama? Blake, move on. This wasn't worth a lawsuit in the first place. That's how I take it.
This silence wasn't just about avoiding controversy. It was a clear sign that Hollywood had moved on from Blake entirely. Chelsea Handler didn't just deliver jokes. She delivered a message on behalf of Hollywood. They were done pretending Blake was an innocent victim. Her sarcastic remarks about it ends with us not getting a sequel weren't just funny. They exposed deeper truths about how far Blake had fallen in public and industry perception.
It's just incredibly telling to see Hollywood they're out of patience. They don't want to hear this nonsense anymore. Here it is.
It ends with us.
Here it is. Again, more celebrities laughing.
There's probably not going to be a sequel. It ends with us, guys.
For someone who once prided herself on being America's sweetheart, this fall from grace has been nothing short of catastrophic. Handler may have delivered the punchline, but it was years of missteps and manipulative tactics that led to this moment. A moment where even Hollywood elites couldn't take her seriously anymore. Blake Lively thought she could control Hollywood with carefully crafted narratives and strategic PR moves. But Chelsea Handler proved otherwise. From leaked evidence undermining her lawsuit against Justin Baldoni to losing support from even her closest friends like Taylor Swift, every piece of this puzzle pointed to one undeniable truth. Hollywood has moved on from Blake Lively.
He told us that Justin Baldoni denied those claims of sexual harassment and only tried to appease Blake Lively because she was such a high-maintenance diva bully brat. He had to bend over backwards just to get her to shut up and complete the film.
Her victim narrative didn't just fail, it backfired spectacularly, leaving her reputation in tatters and her career hanging by a thread. Handler's roast wasn't just comedy, it was symbolic. A turning point where Hollywood collectively decided they were done playing along with Blake's sob story. The question now is whether she can recover or if this marks the end of her time in the spotlight.